Are you tired of just doing the same exact square combo over and over again? Or maybe tired of just mashing random buttons hoping you actually get somewhere with a combo? Well, today that's gonna change because this video will cover some of the most advanced combos that you can do to become a god on Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. Now, before anything, I do need to make it clear that I am playing on standard controls. If you are playing on classic controls, my recommendation is that you do switch to standard controls. Nothing wrong with classic controls. I just think that standard controls is a lot more efficient for when you're trying to play a lot better for Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. But if you do only like classic controls, there is nothing wrong with that. Just make sure that when I'm saying R1 for my block, that will equal your guys' circle on your end. As for everybody playing on Xbox, you guys are basically going to have to do your conversions on how my controls will match up with yours, but it still should be the same thing as long as you're playing on controller. So unfortunately, Dragon Ball Sparking Zero doesn't have a feature where you can track the actual buttons that you click so you can know what combo you actually performed. So right here on screen, every time I click a button, you will see on screen on the bottom left corner every button that I clicked so that you guys can perform these combos to the best of your ability. Now, with all of that being covered, my last recommendation for everybody practicing these combos, considering the fact that you aren't able to track the actual buttons that you click for each combo that you perform, I suggest that you turn off the music so that you can hear the sound for when your character is doing specific attacks, because that will make your combos a lot more efficient and you'll be able to flow through it a lot easier, and then you can gradually turn the music on once you feel like you've gotten the combos down. In terms of the actual combos though, this is going to be very complex and diverse. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero is a very complex comboing system, and because of that, this is going to take practice. You are going to need to practice these combos over and over and over again, and after you've practiced them enough, you should probably use them and see how they are incorporated with other CPUs so that you can take these combos on ranked and utilize them to the fullest ability. So now that all of that is out of the way, we are going to get into the combos right here. So the first thing that I do want to address here is that when you click pause and you go down to explanation of controls, I want you guys to click R1 so until you get to the point right here where it says rush chain actions. Okay, the rush chains are going to be very, very important because this will give you the ability to stun your opponent each time you're in the middle of a combo. So rush chain 1 is your heavy finishes. You can activate that with square triangle. Rush chain 2 is Ki Blast Cannon. You can activate that with 2 squares and 1 triangle. And then rush chain 3, flying kicks, you can activate that with 3 squares and 1 triangle. And then rush chain 4, you can activate that with 4 squares and then 1 triangle. Something that I do need to make very clear though is that every single character will have a separate distinct rush chain. They will consist of the same controls, but the way those rush chains are actually incorporated will be different depending on the character that you want to pick. For this gameplay, I'm going to be rocking with Mid Goku mainly because that's the character that I've been nasty with on ranked, but for you guys, I suggest that you use this combo guide as a reference to the character that you want to main within ranked, whether that's a character with 10 BP like a Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, or whether even it's like a Mr. Satan with 1 BP or a Chaozu who's worth 2 BP. So with all of that out of the way, we're going to reference these rush chains right here. So for the first rush chain, as you saw, you will have to activate it by clicking square triangle. I'm going to demonstrate that for you right now. As you can see, with that first rush chain, you are able to stun your opponent so that every time you stun your opponent, you will actually be able to continue your combo with a different combo-like style that you prefer. So, for instance, if I wanted to, I can do square triangle and then continue with my own combo that I like. Here's a perfect demonstration. Now that's just a very easy standard set combo that you could do. Now we're going to move on to Rush Chain 2, and Rush Chain 2 is actually a little different. Again, every single character will have its own different Rush Chain. For Goku Mid though, his Rush Chain 2 will look a little bit like this. This is so important because when you stun and hit your opponent away, you will actually be able to dash towards them and continue your combo. So that will look a little bit like this. Notice that all of these combos that I'm doing after I do my rush chain, I am just doing a basic square combo. We're going to learn here in a little bit how to change that up. But the third rush chain is actually probably the most insane and the most vulnerable rush chain that you can put your opponent in. However, that rush chain right here doesn't work with mid Goku. If I perform that rush chain right here, which is 3 squares and 1 triangle with Goku, you will see how he just does like this triple kick in the air, and it's not really effective. You can really use that sort of triple kick in the air if you are planning to just continuing the same basic combo, but it's not very effective if you want to place your opponent in a vulnerable state. So in order to perform this the right way, I'm going to transform right here into Super Saiyan, and you're going to see exactly what I mean when I say this can put your opponent in the most vulnerable state that they can be in. So notice now that when I perform the triple square and triangle rush chain, you will see how Goku is going to kick Vegeta to turn completely around, making him completely vulnerable to whatever I would want to do to him next. When performed correctly, it should look a little bit like this. So right here, when I do have Vegeta completely turned around, he is completely vulnerable to whatever I would want to do to him next. If I wanted to completely lay him out with a 17-hit combo, then I could. If I just wanted to kick him away from here with a heavy attack and do a follow-up rush attack like a Kaioken attack or a Super Kamehameha, then I'm free to do that. But right here, he cannot vanish, he cannot block or counter or anything like that. He is completely vulnerable to whatever I would do to him next. And this right here is completely crucial for a game like Sparking Zero, considering the fact that you do have the ability to find your way out and counter against a lot of the things that your opponent can do, like a basic random combo, or even when you find yourself doing a random rush attack out of nowhere. After that, I'm going to show you the fourth and final rush chain that you can perform with your characters within Sparking Zero. So this rush chain will be 4 squares and 1 triangle, and this will also help you utilize your combos a lot more efficiently. Take a look at how it's performed here. So notice here, I'm basically sort of doing a Ki Blast Cannon, and after my Ki Blast Cannon, I will also be able to follow it up with another combo that I would like doing. So go ahead and take a look at this. Notice here how I was able to completely utilize the Ki Blast Cannon to send my opponent away a little bit, dash towards them, and then continue with a basic square combo. Now notice after every single one of these rush chains, the only thing that I'm doing is just basic square combos, but we're going to be changing it up a little bit, and we're going to be performing some very, very good combos that'll allow us to be able to utilize them in ranked so that we're able to completely mop the floor with them. So for here, I'm going to be going back to base form Goku. One of the main combos that I can recommend for you guys to follow is to do square square up on triangle and then continue on by vanishing or dashing towards them depending on the character that you actually have to continue utilizing another set of a combo. So I'm going to take a look and show you what that exactly looks like. Now this is such an amazing combo, mainly because when this combo is performed, if you would like, you can follow up with a rush attack or a basic Ki Blast attack whenever you like. If you would like to do that, you would be able to land it basically 95% of the time as long as your opponent doesn't find a way to vanish out of it. And the only way that they basically would be able to bounce out of it is if they do have 2 ki gauges, and that's basically sort of a live or die response. I'm gonna go ahead and show you what that looks like exactly. Now that looked absolutely beautiful. I performed that right there with a Kaioken Rush, but you guys can do it with any other attack that you would like depending on the character that you're playing as. And I do want to make it very clear that when you perform that specific combo, it can vary depending on the character that you choose. So as you saw right here for Goku, when I do perform that combo, it's sort of like a leap he does in the air, but for other characters, they'll probably do sort of like a instant teleportation to go right behind them so that they continue their combo from there. And if I do it right here with Goku in his Super Saiyan state, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about, because he does, instead of leaping towards them directly, what he'll do is completely vanish behind them and then continue his combo from there. So now that that is completely covered, that is a very, very good combo that you can utilize when you're in the middle of one of your combos. So if you're in the process of continuously doing a square combo, you can always have access to do that mid combo, but I'm going to give you a specific combo that you're going to be able to do that'll give you complete advantage, that'll give you the ability to perform some of the most high damaging combos. So first things first is that I would personally say that you should always perform a rush 3. Of course, you don't need to, but it is more efficient if you do perform a rush chain 3. And if you don't remember what the rush chain 3 is, it is 3 squares and 1 triangle. Right here, if I perform it with Goku, you'll see how that's his triple kick in the air. For other characters, that would basically be their spin around kick, where you completely turn your character around, making them vulnerable to whatever you would want to do next. I implore you to do this if you are using a character that does have the ability to kick your opponent and completely spin them around, because when they are turned around, they are completely vulnerable to whatever you would do to them next. Now, I'm going to transform right here into Super Saiyan Goku just to show you exactly what I mean by that. And for Super Saiyan Mid Goku, if there's anybody else who's using them watching this video, you do have to be a little bit careful when you do kick him into a state where he's vulnerable, because with Mid Goku, if you double click the triangle twice by accident, you're actually going to kick him around and then kick him back to where he was before. So that being said, I'm going to show you the combo that you can utilize specifically so that you can be able to perform a high damage combo. So right here, you're going to do is you're going to find out when you click the square button. I believe you click the square button 4 times before you actually slightly kick them away. But right here, as you can see, I'm performing on screen. When I kick them the 4th time or the 5th time, from what it seemed like, you'll see how they slightly get kicked back a little bit. Right there, when you do kick them back a little bit, what you're going to do is dash towards them and continue with the same combo. But prior to dashing towards them, you will have the option to do a forward square or a downward square. The reason that that's important is because Dragon Ball Sparking Zero is sort of like playing chess. You're basically going to have to try to guess what your opponent is going to do before they actually do it. So within Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, I'm sure a lot of you know this, but you will actually have the ability to block high, to block in the middle, and also block low. Your opponent, from when you kick them away and then dash towards them with a upward square or a downward square, will have to guess if they are going to have to block high or block low for the attack that you're going to do. So my best suggestion is that you just mix it up a little bit. So I'm going to show you exactly what I mean, and obviously you'll be able to see it on the controls on the bottom left corner right here with this gameplay. So notice the first time when I did the combo, I did do a forward square, and then the second time when I performed the combo, I did do a downward triangle. Now that was absolutely insane, but we can also incorporate this dash combo with a lot of other things. Now, if you guys remember earlier when I told you to practice your kick turnaround combo, which would be your rush chain 3, this is very important so that you can actually incorporate this dash combo without any interruptions whatsoever. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys what that looks like right here. Alright, now that we have a lot of those combos down and put together, we're going to actually try to test out some grabbing, because a lot of you guys probably do know how to grab within Sparking Zero, but you probably don't necessarily know how to incorporate them within specific combos. So right here, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to incorporate grabbing with a lot of the unique combos that you would want to perform within Sparking Zero. So I do want to make it very clear that this dash combo right here would literally work with any other combo that you would want to do. So if you want to incorporate this combo with a chain 1 or a chain 2 or a chain 3, you can obviously do that. The best time to perform a grab is when you actually trip your opponent using downward triangle, leaving them vulnerable to an attack that you can do. Now, using a grab is also a very good follow-up attack for a super rush attack if you did want to do one, or if you wanted to continue your combo from there. So quite simply, you could literally continue doing the dash forward combo, and in the midst of doing that specific combo, what you can do is do a downward triangle to trip them and grab them in the process. Now, this is a little bit trickier to do because if you do it wrong on standard controls, you may or may not accidentally do another vanishing attack, and that's not necessarily what we would want to do because then you're going to drop your combo. So the timing for this has to be precise, which is why you need to practice it over and over and over again. I'm going to show you guys exactly what I mean. So as you can see here, this could very well work with just a standard trip or a heavy trip. It's obviously more efficiently used when you do a heavy trip rather than a standard trip, but it doesn't matter either way. It should work if you do have the timing too precise. And you can even mix it up afterwards. You can do a forward rush afterwards and continue to do your dash forward combo, or from there you can just very well do a forward rush attack. It really just depends on what you want to do. So let's go ahead and mix it up a little bit and see what we can come up with.
We're settling this right here and now!
The last thing that I did actually want to say though is that these combos will not work when you're in your sparking state, because when you're in your sparking state, your combo set will switch to being an infinite rather than you being more unique and precise with the combos that you actually want to perform. So when you're in your sparking state, you can very well just perform the same infinite combo while doing a downward smash attack at the end, so you can catch your opponent lacking with a forward rush attack or even your ultimate attack if you would like. Overall, it really just depends on what you want to do, but hey, let me know what you guys think about all of this down in the comment section below. Let me know if this video was able to actually help you out. If this video does get to 100 likes, I will do a part 2 where we can actually cover more in-depth combos that we can access within our sparking state and how we can be more unique with our combo sets with different characters. But yeah, make sure to subscribe if you haven't yet. Ring that notification bell if you want to be updated with all types of Sparking Zero content, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.